Hey everyone, I've been seeing this Samsung Q-Series soundbar pop up everywhere lately. It's the 2026 model, the HW-Q990H, and it's getting a lot of buzz for its full 1.1.4 channel surround setup. People are talking about how it turns even a small living room into a full-blown home theater experience, so I figured I'd take a closer look and see if it's really worth the investment. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the sound stage on this thing is impressive. With 1.1.4 channels, including a wireless subwoofer and rear speakers, it's not just sound, it's an experience. I set it up in my living room, which isn't huge, but the way the audio fills the space is something else. Dialogue stays crisp, the bass hits hard without overpowering, and the rear speakers create that immersive surround effect you'd expect from a much pricier setup. If you've ever watched a movie and felt like the action is happening around you, this soundbar delivers that without needing a dozen separate speakers. Another standout feature is the wireless Dolby Atmos. No messy cables running from the soundbar to the rear speakers, just place them where you want, sync them up, and you're good to go. It's especially nice if you're renting or just don't want to deal with permanent installations. I tested it with a few action scenes, and the height channels really do make explosions and helicopter flyovers feel like they're happening right above your head. It's not just a gimmick, it actually works. Then there's Q Symphony, which syncs the soundbar with your Samsung TV's built-in speakers. I was skeptical at first, but when I turned it on, the audio became even more dynamic. The TV's speakers handle the mid and high ranges while the soundbar takes care of the lows and surrounds, creating a fuller, more balanced sound. It's a small feature, but it makes a noticeable difference, especially if you're watching something with a lot of dialogue. SpaceFit Sound Pro is another neat addition. It analyzes your room and adjusts the sound profile automatically. I moved the soundbar from my living room to my bedroom, and it adapted the EQ to suit the smaller space. It's not a perfect fix for every room, but it's a lot better than having to manually tweak settings every time you change locations. If you're someone who likes things to just work without fuss, this is a big plus. Smart integration is also solid. It works seamlessly with Alexa, Google Assistant, and Samsung's own SmartThings ecosystem. I set up voice commands to adjust volume, switch inputs, or even ask for recommendations on what to watch. It's convenient, especially if you're already in the Samsung ecosystem. Pairing it with other devices like soundbars or TVs is straightforward, too, so if you're building out a home theater over time, this fits right in. The subwoofer deserves its own shout-out. It's wireless, so no cables to hide, and it packs a punch. The AI dynamic bass control adjusts the bass response based on what you're watching or listening to. I tested it with a bass-heavy track, and the subwoofer didn't just rumble, it delivered clean, punchy lows without distortion. It's not as powerful as a dedicated subwoofer, but for a soundbar setup, it's more than enough to fill a room. Now, it's not perfect. The rear speakers are battery-powered, which means you'll need to charge them occasionally. It's not a huge hassle, but if you forget, you might miss out on that surround experience for a while. Also, while the setup is wireless, the soundbar itself still needs to be plugged in, so you're not getting a fully cord-free experience. And if you're not using a Samsung TV, some of the smart features might feel a bit limited. Overall, though, this soundbar is a fantastic choice if you want a high-end home theater experience without the clutter of multiple speakers. The sound quality, the wireless setup, and the smart features all add up to something that feels premium without being overly complicated. If you're in the market for a soundbar that can do it all, movies, music, gaming, this one's definitely worth considering. Link is below if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.